Hello, and welcome to week 30 of the Religious Education Initiative. We're reading from the Old Testament book of Numbers, chapter 13, this week. Last time we read in Exodus chapter 40 about the completion and the consecration of the tabernacle, and how God came and dwelt in the tabernacle in the midst of the people of Israel, and how he showed them when it was time to travel and when it was time to stop again, leading them through the wilderness. That chapter was the end of the book of Exodus. The next book, Leviticus, the third book of Moses, describes the detailed guidelines for how the sacrifices and the services were to be conducted in the tabernacle. So throughout Leviticus and the beginning of the book of Numbers, we see the Israelites putting into practice the sacrifices and the priesthood and everything that God had commanded them while they remained at Mount Sinai. After a year there, they celebrated the Passover, the celebration of their deliverance from Egypt for the first time after leaving Egypt, and then God led them away from Mount Sinai to the border of the Promised Land. When they got there, they sent spies into the land, and that is where we pick up the story, again in Numbers chapter 13. The Lord said to Moses, "Send men to spy out the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the Israelites. From each of their ancestral tribes you shall send a man, every one a leader among them." So Moses sent them from the wilderness of Paran, according to the command of the Lord, all of them leading men among the Israelites. These were their names: from the tribe of Reuben, Shammua, son of Zakkur; from the tribe of Simeon, Shaphat, son of Hori; from the tribe of Judah, Caleb, son of Jephunneh; from the tribe of Issachar, Igal, son of Joseph; from the tribe of Ephraim, Hoshea, son of Nun; from the tribe of Benjamin, Palti, son of Raphu; from the tribe of Zebulun, Gadiel, son of Sodi; from the tribe of Joseph, that is, from the tribe of Manasseh, Gadi, son of Susi; from the tribe of Dan, Amiel, son of Gemali; from the tribe of Asher, Sethur, son of Michael; from the tribe of Naphtali, Nachbi, son of Vophsi; from the tribe of Gad, Geuel, son of Maki. These were the names of the men whom Moses sent to spy out the land, and Moses changed the name of Hoshea, son of Nun, to Joshua. Moses sent them to spy out the land of Canaan, and said to them, "Go up there into the Negev, and go up into the hill country, and see what the land is like, and whether the people who live in it are strong or weak, whether they are few or many, and whether the land they live in is good or bad, and whether the towns that they live in are unwalled or fortified, and whether the land is rich or poor, and whether there are trees in it or not. Be bold, and bring some of the fruit of the land." Now it was the season of the first ripe grapes. So they went up and spied out the land from the wilderness of Zin to Rehob near Lebo Hamath. They went up into the Negev and came to Hebron, and Ahiman, Sheshai, and Talmai the Anakites were there. Hebron was built 7 years before Zoan in Egypt. And they came to the Wadi Eschol, and cut down from there a branch with a single cluster of grapes, and they carried it on a pole between two of them. They also brought some pomegranates and figs. That place was called the Wadi Eschol, because of the cluster that the Israelites cut down from there. At the end of 40 days they returned from spying out the land. And they came to Moses and Aaron and to all the congregation of the Israelites in the wilderness of Paran at Kadesh. They brought back word to them and to all the congregation, and showed them the fruit of the land. And they told him, "We came to the land to which you sent us. It flows with milk and honey, and this is its fruit. Yet the people who live in the land are strong, and the towns are fortified and very large. And besides, we saw the descendants of Anak there. The Amalekites live in the land of the Negev. The Hittites, the Jebusites, and the Amorites live in the hill country, and the Canaanites live by the sea and along the Jordan." But Caleb quieted the people before Moses and said, "Let us go up at once and occupy it, for we are well able to overcome it." Then the men who had gone up with him said, "We are not able to go up against this people, for they are stronger than we." So they brought to the Israelites an unfavorable report of the land that they had spied out, saying, "The land that we have gone through as spies is a land that devours its inhabitants, and all the people that we saw in it are of great size. There we saw the Nephilim, the Anakites, come from the Nephilim, and to ourselves we seemed like grasshoppers, and so we seemed to them." Then all the congregation raised a loud cry, and the people wept that night. And all the Israelites complained against Moses and Aaron. The whole congregation said to them, "Would that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would that we had died in this wilderness. Why is the Lord bringing us into this land to fall by the sword? Our wives and our little ones will become booty. Would it not be better for us to go back to Egypt?" So they said to one another, "Let us choose a captain and go back to Egypt." Then Moses and Aaron fell on their faces before all the assembly of the congregation of the Israelites. And Joshua son of Nun and Caleb son of Jephunneh, who were among those who had spied out the land, tore their clothes and said to all the congregation of the Israelites, "The land that we went through as spies is an exceedingly good land. If the Lord is pleased with us, he will bring us into this land and give it to us, a land that flows with milk and honey. Only do not rebel against the Lord, and do not fear the people of the land, for they are no more than bread for us. Their protection is removed from them, and the Lord is with us. Do not fear them." But the whole congregation threatened to stone them. So, this is sadly the moment that we've been waiting for. Next chapter we will see the conclusion of this. We've seen the people that God led out of Egypt, although they have seen him do so many miracles for them, although they have seen him protect and save them so many times, we continually see them disobey him, we see them distrust him, we see them wandering and running around and doing whatever they want to do without any attention to what God has commanded them or called them to do. We've seen God forgive them for a great many sins, throughout the last several readings. But this is the end. This is the point at which God says, "Enough. This generation will not trust me. This generation will not believe me. This generation will not follow me." And we'll see what happens next time. A couple things that I want to point out. Most of all, why did God have them send spies into the land? This may just be me, but I think that God was testing them. He was giving them the opportunity to trust him. Because it's important, in fact, that he's not bringing them into a land that is empty. And he's not bringing them into a land that is peopled by a quiet, peaceful, easy to conquer nation or group of nations. He's bringing them into one of the strongest places that exists. He's bringing them up against nations that are wicked and powerful and practiced at war, with fortified cities, which means that they spend their time fighting each other and that they get good at that war, and with a great experience in warfare. Moreover, he's bringing them to fight against giant clans, which is to say descendants of demons, groups that have... It's not too much to say that they've sold their souls to demons, and they've gained wisdom, skill, strength, perhaps even size. It says that they're giants. They're so big that the Israelites feel like grasshoppers in front of them, which I think is probably an exaggeration. But these are strong people that God is bringing them to fight against. And he intends for them to look at this and say, there is no way that we can defeat these nations by ourselves. But we have seen the glorious acts of God, and He is promising us that He will give us this land. So we will trust Him, we will follow Him, we will do as He says. This is what they ought to do. They have no good reason not to, with the things that they have seen. And remember, God is present with them. The pillar of cloud and fire is there in their midst. They can see that God is with them. And even with that, they doubt, they fear, and they're ready to go back to Egypt. They want to go back to slavery and abandon their promises, abandon the covenant, abandon God. So, they fail the test, except for Caleb and Joshua and Moses and Aaron. Now, Moses and Aaron are going to have other problems, but Joshua and Caleb are the only two people who left Egypt who will actually go into the promised land. We'll see how this happens next week. For now, I'll see you all on day 2. Have a wonderful day. God bless you.